Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk about the gay marriage debate. This is a political channel, so it kind of made sense to. I wrote down some of the points. So if I'm looking down, that's why. I was cheap. I didn't bother getting the plaque thing. I'll read through each of these arguments and then offer rebuttal as I go. And you can drop comments, arguments if you want. Without further ado, here we go. So one of the biggest arguments against gay marriage is the argument that it is bad for the kids. Now this argument has some supporting points, namely it would make the children of gay parents gay. Gay parents are going to raise their kids gay, basically, is the argument. There's another one. Gay parents and their children are more likely to be beaten up, socially pressured. They end up having a harder life because they have gay parents, basically. And the gay parents have a hard time, too, because society picks on them, basically. Is the way to think of it. Another argument is the role model one where for a family to be fully functional, it needs a male and a female role model. If you don't have that, then your kids don't come out right. The kids end up not thinking clearly. Now the rebuttal for each of those arguments, I'm just going to offer that real quick. Okay, so the argument that gay couples end up making gay kids, they end up raising gay kids. Factually, evidently the numbers aren't that significant. That's evidently just true from what I understand. The other part is, so what? They're gay kids. Why is gay bad in this case? That would kind of be the argument against that point. The next one, the one where the kids and the parents are being persecuted by wider society for being gay. Usually this argument gets countered by simply saying, well, why are we upset about these people getting married? We should be upset about the people persecuting them. That's what we should focus on preventing. Usually people make it out like the interracial marriage argument. It's very similar to that in a lot of ways. The role model one, well, we got a lot of houses with single parents, and we don't seem to cause a fuss about that. It's just gay marriage. Therefore, we're inconsistent there. Factually, we're not following our own rules. If you want to consider, we need two role models. The next argument is the purpose of marriage is to produce kids. You've heard this argument. I've heard this argument a lot. The counter argument to that is a lot of people that get married can't have kids, so we don't stop them from getting married. Also, if you get old, eventually you can't produce children. So if you can't produce children, why are you still married? I mean, the purpose of marriage is to produce children. So that's kind of the counter argument to that. The next argument, being gay is unnatural. Scientists have, the counter argument to that is that the scientists have found that there are actually animals that are gay. It's not that infrequent in various animals in the world. And that, frankly, even if it was, human beings are fond of things that aren't natural. For example, the camera I'm recording this in is pretty far from the materials it came from naturally. Sorry about the dog barking. I just have a couple more points. The next one is, marriages, the definition of marriage is between man and a woman. The problem with this argument is that, according to people that object to this, is that frankly, marriage has evolved over time. If you look way back when, polygamy wasn't that uncommon. If you look in the Bible, that's the case as well. Also, marriage kind of functioned as a agreement between clans not to declare war, it had a different function than it does now. And the other argument is that, well, if it's a definition, we can change the definitions. We do that all the time. For example, voter used to be, this is kind of the classic point that people bring up. Voter used to be defined as white male, and now it's not that. It's it's people over 18, and not a felon. So yeah. What's the next argument? Undermine. Oh, it undermines families. The counter argument to that is, hey, if I was married, how does Joe down the street being married to Jim affect my marriage? And frankly, if you're worried about marriage being undermined, wouldn't you be more concerned about all the divorces that are taking place? And yeah, that's basically the argument, the counter argument anyway. The next one is, marriage is a sacred institution, and being gay is a sin. Usually how this argument's countered is, well, that's fine if you want to believe that, but that doesn't mean that it should be state policy, because there's a separation between church and state. And even if you don't believe that, frankly, there's some examples in religion where there was polygamy. So, we can cite that in the Bible. Should we support that? And also, if you were going to be literal about the Bible, wouldn't lying be, big shit too, and having false idols? I mean, where's the line? Where are you drawing the line? You see what I'm saying? How literal are you going to take the Bible, and are you going to enforce every little provision? Because then you're going to have a lot of people in jail, I'm just saying, or a lot of people not being able to do very much. That's kind of the counter argument to that. What's the next one? Get to marry. Oh, if homosexuality ends up, passing and everybody can do it, what's next? Are we going to get polygamy and animal sex marriage? You've heard this argument too, the slippery slope argument. The counter argument to that is, well, we're not talking about those things, are we? Or the other counter argument is that, who the fuck cares? Why should we give a shit about polygamy or people marrying animals? It's none of our business. Would be the other argument. Get to marry. And then there's the icky factor. Gay marriage is gross. A lot of things are gross, is the counter argument to that. And arguments for, let's see if I can think of any. I guess the arguments for, basically, these people should have the same rights as we do. The counter argument to that would be, no, they shouldn't, because I've listed all the reasons why they shouldn't, I guess. The other argument for them basically getting the right to marry is that the state really doesn't get to decide morality. It just, signs contracts, basically. And that if two men want to get married, and society accepts it, who the fuck is to object? I don't think I stated that correctly, but I don't give a shit. Frankly, if you're a real libertarian, a couple of my friends actually have this position, which is, frankly, the state should just get out of all marriages. All of them. Why is the government even involved in that? That's their point. So yeah, it's an interesting debate. It's definitely going in one direction, though. You kind of get that feel, even for people that are against it. It's like it kind of feels like they're fighting a losing cause. Like, I mean, I know people that are really, really against gay marriage, and they just, you talk to them about it, and it's like, yeah, I know we're losing this one. So yeah, real quick with the military thing, because, it's not been so long since we ended up repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I think that was an interesting law to put in place, because if you think historically, there was tons of, military generals that were gay, and that didn't seem to affect their military careers. Like Alexander the Great is the easy one. All them 300 Spartans. There's tons of examples. So I don't know. I think it is definitely an interesting debate. You should comment if you want. And if you've got any more points that I forgot, or if you want to just bitch about it, go ahead. That's what this channel's for. Subscribe, comment, rate. Have a great day. Bye.